What's up, guys? It's Alex here, and today we are going to be talking about the first episode of Solo Leveling that just came out. I apologize for the scuffed atmosphere, but I'm and my girlfriends. I just couldn't talk about this episode. So, as a Solo Leveling being one of my favorite manhwas ever to be released, I was really anticipating the show. So the show started off a little bit different than what I would want to, but still starting at the Jeju Island in Japan, seeing where the story is gonna go is quite fitting, as the start of Solo Leveling does a little bit start as Jin is already fighting something, so we get to see what happens in 3 years' time, which I think this arc is not gonna be in the first season of the anime, and later on I will explain why. So next up, we already see one of the familiar faces, the first S rank hunter that we do see. I got the names here because I kind of forgot a little bit, but never mind that. I'm just not gonna look at it. But this is the first S rank hunter. We are gonna be seeing him a lot throughout the show, I think. But yeah, pretty cool, showing his skills, him burning some ants, and it was really cool to see. Next up, we skip forward 3 years, see Jin as an F rank hunter, as the lowest ranking hunter there is, with his friend, the healer. She also will turn up in the show. I quite like how vulnerable they made Jin in the first part of the episode. We get to see, I mean, yeah, he got injured in an E rank dungeon, as you can see right here. So right here they are at the entrance of the first dungeon in the show. Next up, we get to see Go, the master of the National Hunters Association, with his trusty companion. I think the main downside of the show is that they linger at this part way too much and explaining the magic gems. As we can see, they explain this way too much. I think a lot of this explanation could have been done passively throughout the show. Like, him picking up a gem is already good enough. He could just like do some inner monologue. This is gonna be selling for a lot. We don't really need to know what they're used for. You know, we all played games, we all know magic gems, but still, giving some background information is pretty cool indeed. Next up, we get to see another of the reoccurring characters. I think so. This is the son of a wealthy guy, and he is going to be establishing the guild with Jin as the show goes on. So another one of the characters that we are going to be seeing quite a lot in the show, and I personally one of my favorite characters in the show. Next up, we have a beautiful scene with Hai. Her stopping the thieves, doing the somersault in the air, then jumping away. One of my favorite scenes in the show for sure. Can't wait to see her and Jin's dynamic throughout the show, but we can only see what they're gonna do with her character. How are they gonna evolve her? But as soon as she jumped in the scene, I absolutely loved it. Then we see them clearing the second dungeon break, dual dungeon, you know, this is the second part of it. We see the statues all lined up in a row. We see the main statue that is one of the main pillars of the show. I really like how they set up the atmosphere, really people not knowing what's gonna happen, what are they supposed to do. We see the main, even if you haven't read the manga, I mean the manhwa, you kinda can see that this is no ordinary statue. But jumping in a little bit, we see the commandments. These commandments are going to be more prevalent in the next part, but very important nonetheless. And then the episode ends with her laser eyes, the first commandment being something along the lines of kneel before the Lord or something like that. Basically, stay on the ground and she won't hit you. Now, my final thoughts about this show. is that this dual dungeon arc or whatever is gonna span 2 more episodes if I would take a gander. I don't think they're gonna do it in 1 episode, purely because the 25 minutes spent in this episode is a lot of jumping forward and backwards, introducing characters. So I don't know if the next one is also going to be like this, that they're going to be jumping across whole different sections. But if they don't and they just focus on the main character, which being Jin, I think they will wrap this episode out in they will wrap the dual dungeon episode in the next one, and then after that we are going to be seeing his progression. So after that, the third episode I think will be his fight in the desert, and then moving on, and probably the Jeju Island will be the second season of it. I don't think they're going to be reaching that in the first season just because of how slow they're moving. But yeah, these are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any of your own, and peace out.